Hola, Jay here. So I've been thinking about something. It has to do with that about a month ago there was supposedly a rumor that Nintendo would be making remasters of 3D Mario games from the past. That's all I really know about the leak. I didn't really do any research about it, but today I'm basically going to be discussing which 3D Mario games I would want remasters for or sequels to, and how they would play or what new additions they would have. So let's get into the remaking.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
Obviously, if we're talking about 3D Mario games, we have to start with the original, Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. Yes, I know, the game was already remastered for the DS, but that's all that was, with the added Luigi, Wario, and Yoshi. But what I personally want is a sequel to the original game. As story-wise, they could do something along the lines that Peach calls the Mario Brothers to the castle because all of the Toads have seemingly gone missing, and it's up to Mario and Luigi to save them. While doing this, they find a pipe that leads to a new area of the castle, with new paintings and new levels along with new caps that they can use to grant new power-ups. Just a quick idea that I thought of, but I know Nintendo could come up with a good storyline with some work. Along with a new story, I would love it if they kept the old look of the original game, with the low polygon models, because I feel that that would add to the nostalgia factor. Because that's why I feel a lot of people still play the game, including me. But the game could still do with some updated lighting effects and textures. Also, the last request that I have is a multiplayer mode. A nice little multiplayer can make this a really great game to play with friends. So basically, I want an official release of a game like Super Mario Star Road, which is a ROM hack made by Skelix, being a sequel to the original. And that's it. All this sequel would need is a new story that takes place after the original, new levels, new power-ups, and multiplayer.
Super Mario Sunshine. Woohoo!
At this point, I'm just going to go in the order of when these games were released. How would I want Nintendo to bring Super Mario Sunshine to the Switch? Well, I would want a sequel to this game as well. For quite a while, I know people have been wanting another Sunshine game, and I personally feel no different. For a new Sunshine game, I feel it should be in a different part of Mario's world, just like how the original game was. A different island per se. This island would have new enemies and collectibles, like maybe... I don't know, I'm trying to think of something live. Of course, the story would want to be made different, and Mario should already have FLUDD at the beginning. But unlike Super Mario 64, the game should be made to look as good as games look nowadays. So great models and the likes, spruce it up and make it a lot better. They could even use the Switch's motion controls for extra FLUDD movement. While we're talking about FLUDD, I think it'd be really cool if Nintendo made new power-ups for FLUDD, such as like a lava tank, which obviously instead of shooting water, FLUDD will be able to shoot lava. But honestly, a Super Mario Sunshine 2 doesn't need multiplayer. I normally would love multiplayer, but I feel this game won't gain anything from it. And with that, that is another game done. Just a sequel to the original. Both a new story with a new island that has new inhabitants and enemies, and of course spiced up graphics. Ah, Super Mario Galaxy. One of the best Mario games ever. A beautiful masterpiece. So much of a masterpiece that I think it would be very difficult for Nintendo to even try to catch the magic of the original in a sequel. I would want a sequel to this game, but they've already tried, and we got this. So what I think they should do is a port. The graphics are already amazing, and the game is very well made, so not much has to be changed besides making the game HD this time. But I won't lie, Super Mario Galaxy could definitely benefit from multiplayer. It would be a tricky feature to add, but I know they could do it. Because it would be so much fun to share the perfect magic that is Super Mario Galaxy with friends and family. And that's it. Super Mario Galaxy is already a perfect game by itself, so I feel just a port would be a great addition to the Switch's library to let younger generations be able to play it.
Super Mario 3D World. Yeah.
I'm going to skip Super Mario Galaxy 2 and 3D Land because Galaxy 2 is just a retelling of Super Mario Galaxy, and 3D Land is just a worse 3D world. This part will be short because I've never really played on the Wii U, but after all the Silly Pwn's Let's Plays I've watched, I can say that this game would work wonders as a port. This game was actually perfect. Even though it was kind of like the 3DS game Super Mario 3D Land, but just on the Wii U, it was a great game. It fixed all of the flaws of the original, and have I said that this game is perfect yet? It looks as good as the best games nowadays. All they have to do is turn that 720p into a 1080p, and BAM! A new game for the Switch! The only reason Super Mario 3D World didn't do extremely well before was because it was on the Wii U. If you ask someone next to you if they had a Wii U, they'd respond with, "What's a Wii U?" Not many people had a Wii U. They just had to put such a great game on a failing console, didn't they? All they'd have to do for a port is maybe add a battle mode for Green Stars, kinda like how they did for New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. And make all the extra controls for the gamepad able to be done with motion controls or something. They'll figure it out. And that's all of the 3D Mario games I feel Nintendo should port, remaster, or remake. To be honest, all of the original versions of these games were masterpieces, but putting them on newer systems will allow younger audiences or people who never had these old systems get to enjoy them too. Don't forget about all the people who are still nostalgic over these games. Nintendo, you just need to spruce them up, add a few new features for the Nintendo fans to play, and these would be amazing additions to the Switch. Not to the DS, like Super Mario 64 DS. I still sometimes stay awake at night thinking, why the D-pad?